In the village of Kovodzi, where the sun kissed the earth with unrelenting warmth, Nia was known as the healer with hands of gold. Her hut sat at the edge of the village, surrounded by a garden of herbs, lemongrass, morina, and the rare sankofa root that only bloomed under a full moon. The people of Kovodzi revered her, for she could mend broken bones with a poultice, soothe fevers with a whispered song, and coax life back into those teetering on the edge of death. Nia's gift was said to come from the ancestors, passed down through her grandmother, who had once saved the village from a plague of locusts with a single prayer. At 25, Nia was young but wise, her eyes carrying the weight of 1,000 unseen stories. She wore her hair in tight braids adorned with cowrie shells, and her voice was soft yet firm, like the wind rustling through the palm fronds. But Nia harbored a secret. Her gift came with a price. Every time she healed, a sliver of her own vitality slipped away. She hid the exhaustion behind a radiant smile, refusing to let the village see her falter. The ancestors chose me, she told herself. I cannot refuse their will. One evening, as the sky blazed orange, a mother stumbled into Nia's hut, cradling her infant son. The child's skin burned with fever, his cries weak and fading. Please, Nia, the woman begged, tears streaming down her face. He is all I have. Nia knelt beside the child, her hands trembling slightly, not from fear, but from the toll of her last healing. She pressed a damp cloth of crushed herbs to his forehead, closed her eyes, and sang a low, melodic chant. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy. Slowly, the fever broke, and the infant's breathing steadied. The mother wept with joy, clutching Nia's hands in gratitude. As the woman left, Nia slumped against the wall, her chest tight. She felt it again, the creeping shadow within her, growing stronger with every life she saved. Days later, a stranger arrived in Kovodzi. He was tall and gaunt, his skin weathered like the bark of an ancient baobab. He carried a staff carved with symbols no one recognized, and his eyes glinted with a knowing sharpness. The villagers whispered that he was a wanderer, a man who walked between worlds. He came to Nia's hut uninvited, stepping through the doorway as the sun dipped below the horizon. You are the healer, he said, his voice like gravel. The one who pours herself into others. Nia straightened, wary. I help my people. Who are you to question it? I am Kofi, a seeker of truths, he replied, leaning on his staff. I have seen your kind before, those who give too much. You are cursing yourself, Nia. The ancestors' gift is not meant to drain you dry. Nia bristled. I save lives. If there is a cost, I pay it willingly. Kofi's gaze softened, but his words cut deep. Willingly, perhaps, but blindly. There is a balance to these things. You cannot pour water from an empty well. He reached into a pouch at his waist and pulled out a small, black stone veined with red. Take this. It will show you what you refuse to see. Reluctantly, Nia accepted the stone. That night, she dreamed of a river, her life force, flowing out of her and into the earth, leaving her body a hollow shell. She awoke gasping, the stone clutched in her hand, its surface warm and pulsing faintly. The dream lingered, but Nia pushed it aside. Kovodzi needed her. A drought had begun to tighten its grip on the village, and with it came sickness, coughing children, elders too weak to stand, and crops wilting under the merciless sun. Nia worked tirelessly, moving from hut to hut, her hands stained green with crushed leaves, her voice hoarse from chanting. Each healing carved deeper into her. Her steps grew unsteady, her vision blurred at the edges. The villagers noticed, but she waved off their concern. I am fine, she lied, forcing a smile. The ancestors will sustain me. One afternoon, as she tended to an elder named Momazei, the shadow within her struck. Nia's chant faltered mid-syllable, and she collapsed, her body trembling uncontrollably. Mama Zay cried out, and soon the hut filled with worried faces. Nia's breath came in shallow gasps, her skin clammy and pale. When she awoke, Kofi stood over her, his staff tapping the ground impatiently. "You see now," he said. "Your gift is a river, but you've dammed it within yourself. It must flow both ways." Nia glared at him, her voice weak. "How? Tell me how." Kofi knelt beside her. "The stone I gave you, it is a mirror of your soul. Use it to find the curse's root. Only then can you heal yourself." That night, under a sky thick with stars, Nia sat alone by the river that bordered Kovodzi. She held the black stone, its red veins glowing faintly in the moonlight. Closing her eyes, she whispered a prayer, not to heal another, but to understand herself. The stone grew hot, and visions flooded her mind. She saw her grandmother, stern and proud, teaching her the chants. "You are the vessel," her grandmother said. "But a vessel must be refilled." Nia saw herself as a child, nodding but not truly listening. She saw every healing she'd performed, the light leaving her body in thin, shimmering threads. And she saw the curse, not a punishment from the ancestors, but a trap she'd built with her own refusal to rest, to accept limits. Tears streamed down her face as the truth settled in. She had cursed herself by believing her worth lay only in what she gave, never in what she kept. Nia returned to the village with a new resolve. She called the people of Kovodzi to the center, beneath the great baobab tree. "I have been your healer," she said, her voice steady despite her frailty. "But I cannot carry this alone anymore. The ancestors gave me a gift, but it is ours to share." She taught them how to grind herbs, how to sing the chants, how to care for one another. At first, they hesitated, but soon hands joined hers, voices rose with hers. Nia felt the shadow within her lighten as the burden spread across many shoulders. Kofi watched from a distance, a faint smile on his lips. "You found the balance," he said before slipping away into the night, his staff tapping the earth like a heartbeat. Months later, the drought broke, and Kovodzi thrived. Nia still healed, but sparingly, her hands steady and her spirit whole. The stone lay buried beneath her herb garden, a quiet reminder of the curse she'd undone, not with magic, but with courage and community. And so, the healer who cursed herself became the healer who saved herself, and her village along with her.
Thank you for joining us on Folktale and Philosophical Hub, where ancient wisdom meets modern minds. If you enjoyed today's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories and thought-provoking reflections. Until next time, stay curious and keep the stories alive.